Hello, my name is Navigator, and in today's video we're going to be going over everything that I picked up in Buffalo, New York this weekend. I believe I did post a video earlier this week going over everything I got in Buffalo last weekend. My girlfriend lives out there, which is why I go out there so frequently, and I decided to go visit her again this weekend, and I decided to hit up some different places along with some places from last week as well. So we have kind of a mix of things here. Obviously, majority action figures, wrestling figures. But with that being said, let's get into it. So I'm going to get rid of the bigger stuff first, I guess. Well, I guess one of the bigger things. This is going to be the Spider-Man No Way Home Marvel Legends Matt Murdock. I'm still debating whether or not to do a review of this, which I probably will here on the channel, because I intend on using the body, and the whole reason I got this figure was to use that body for an upcoming Tony Khan of AEW custom that I want to do, but I'll probably unbox it. So I did grab this from That 80s Toy Shop, and yeah, it was a really good body. Now, I'm hoping it works with the Tony Khan head sculpt that I'm getting off of eBay. Next up here, nothing too crazy, but this is a rubber ducky that my girlfriend's sister actually got me for Christmas. So, big Fallout fan, as you guys probably know. But there you go, a nice little Fallout souvenir. So I'm gonna keep that in the box. That is super cool. But next up here, we got a lot of figures. But I guess I'll get the two things that aren't figures out of the way first. One of which you can probably see back here. This is gonna be a fairly retro, like 2011 CM Punk plushie. Now this thing, I got it for $10 at this antique store. And let me tell you guys, this thing goes for like at least $50 on eBay. It is crazy, but I am so happy to have found this in such great condition. It is literally impeccable condition. And just this awesome CM Punk plushie. That is just too cool. So we do have that as well. Next up here, the last thing that really isn't a figure. A lot of my friends have recently been getting into Pokemon collecting, and one of the places I went to had some cards, and as I was looking through there, I saw one that I thought, you know what, I'm going to grab this, and maybe I'll gain some value on it one day. This is going to be and listen guys, I don't know nothing about Pokemon. Mewtwo, a holographic graded Pokemon card from, 1999, and this is a grade 7. Now, I don't know a lot about Pokemon, but I know like 3, and that's Pikachu, Charizard, and Mewtwo. So I got this for $40. On eBay, it's going for $50, so at the very least, I already made some value on it. And it's just pretty cool. I don't have a lot of graded items in my collection. I think I only have one other graded item, that being a comic book. So I was like, you know what? For $40, I'm going to invest in this Pokemon card of a pretty popular character, I would say. And yeah, we'll see where it goes from there. So this is really special. Out of everything that I got, this is kind of my favorite thing because it's just so unique, at least to my collection. And it's graded, so I don't know. Super cool. We do have that. I'll throw that to the side. But let's wrap up here with all of the figures. So, number one here, if I can get it out. Yeah, no, I'll keep it in the bag. We do have a McFarlane Gunslinger Spawn. I'm going to keep everything in the bag here for a couple of these figures. No really point taking them out, but we do have this. I'm not going to do a review of any of these figures. This video is really serving as the review of it, but we do have that in decent condition. I always wanted this figure. And yeah, I guess we can open this up. Get a quick little peek at it. There you can see kind of like an ice cream cone popping out of the wrapper there. But yeah, always wanted this figure. I'm a big kind of cowboy western fan, especially when it comes to figures. So I'm very glad to have that. And actually, I'm going to throw this Mewtwo back up here so it's nice and safe over there. Over here, two figures that I actually got for like $3. Literally $3 each. One of them is going to be this Star Wars The Black Series Captain Rex. Captain Rex is a very sought-after character. I do already have this figure, but I knew off the top of my head it was going for like $30 loose on eBay. So for $3, I picked up another one. I'll throw this in a bag somewhere. I already do have mine on display. And then we also grabbed for $3 a Mean Mark Callis WWE Elite Legends. I've always kind of wanted this figure, and it doesn't have all the accessories, but hell, for $3, I'm not complaining about having another Elite, so we do have that. Speaking of Elite Legends, we also have this Elite Legends Rey Mysterio. I'll take him out of here. He came with some accessories, like an extra hand and the belt, I think. Yeah, they're right there. This is pretty cool. I don't have a Rey Mysterio in my collection. Oh, what the hell? Oh, it was the hand. Jesus. I didn't know what that was on my hand. But I don't have a Rey Mysterio. This was like $15. I didn't think that was a bad price. And it's got some really good articulation, and I love that gear. So we do have this. Finally, a Rey Mysterio to add to the collection. And he came with this really bad WCW belt. I think that looks horrible, that belt. The color on it is just awful. But We do have that. Finally, the last in-bag figure here, and I guess we can take him out as well. This is a figure that I've been seeing at That 80s Toy Shop for a while. It's a Marvel Legends figure that I really have been wanting for a long time. This is going to be Pretty Boy from the Amazon exclusive. I think it was like the X-Men Bad Guys 5-pack, I think it was. But I just think this figure is so cool. He's got like the normal face up here and then the whole robotic body with the guns. I just thought that looked dope. So, excuse me. I decided to pick this up. Super cool. I think I overpaid for it a little bit, but I haven't found it loose anywhere else, so I'm really not complaining. We do have that, though, a nice little Marvel Legends. And then I'll get through the last thing here before we fully get into all the wrestling figures. This is going to be the NECA Drake from the, what is it, the Aliens video game, I think it is, but I have a on-display collection of NECA Aliens figures. I do have a lot of those, and Drake is one of the Colonial Marines that I did not have. This is based off of him in the game, the old, like, I don't know, what was Sega or Atari game, whatever it is, but it still looks good enough to fit in with my other figures, so I'm very, very glad after so long to finally add Drake to my collection. I have every other NECA Colonial Marine except for Drake, so that was a big score, and I got him for like $5, which was awesome. Shout out to Bartertown Collectibles. That's where I got the McFarlane Gunslinger Spawn, the Ray, and that Drake, so there's that. All right, finally here, kind of a mix. Well, actually, no, all of these things, these wrestlers here that we're going to dive into, I got those at Antique World in Clarence, New York, just outside of Buffalo. So these are all just like random, consignment vendors that I picked these up at. But I'll go, I guess, in the batches of where I got them. So number one, I did find in a case, excuse me, these old TNA Sting and Hulk Hogan kind of like basic figures. Anything Sting I will always pick up, especially if it was cheap. And all the figures in that case were $5 each. So for 10 I got both of these. And I'm not a fan of Hulk Hogan, but I am a fan of Hulk Hogan when he's bleeding. So we have an official, and aside, this stuff on the body I'm going to wash off. That is not. But on the face here, that blood on there is like legit. That was meant to be on this figure, and I love blood and guts-esque figures when blood is meant to be there. I think it just looks so cool. And you don't typically see those in the figures, hanging up at Walmart and stuff like that. So who knows? Maybe in the future I could use this for a custom or something. I doubt it. But at the very least, it's kind of like a little memory of the Hogan Sting match that was very bloody in TNA. So I did grab those. Don't have a ton of TNA branded figures either. So we have that. Next up here, kind of a crappy figure. This is just this random Matt Hardy figure that I found from that weird line they did where like all the guys were mid-air and their hair looked all weird. But I picked it up mainly for these pants. I saw recently on a Facebook group that somebody had thrown these pants on a Jeff Hardy Ultimate, and it looked really decent. So I'm gonna try that out and just use this figure as fodder or something like that. Next up here, I got these all from the same case, and they were all $10, which I was so happy about because these are some throwback elites. I'll start with the least rare one, I guess, and kind of work up in order. But we do have this. I'm not sure what series it is, but it's like that SummerSlam Dean Ambrose figure. You guys know me, huge Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley fan. He's my favorite wrestler of all time, next to CM Punk. Well, I guess they're kind of tied, I would say, but I'm always a fan of finding Dean Ambrose elites, and this one is just so cool. We have an elite with the gray, like white. I don't want to say that word. The gray tank top, we'll say that, because the one I have over here is the black one. But yeah, I'm always glad to have Dean Ambrose elites, and I do not have this one, so it's so cool. And speaking of Dean Ambrose, we just got him in box the other day, but here we have the Elite Series 25 Dean Ambrose, and for $10, I was just blown away. This thing goes for like 40, 50 online. Obviously, it's not going to be a while, if ever, until they make any more Shield, Jon Moxley, or Dean Ambrose figures, so this is just too cool, and I'll have this go along with my Shield Seth Rollins and Shield Roman Reigns. I finally have one out of the packaging and in really good condition. I can just clean up that face a little bit. I don't know if we can get it to focus. I can clean that up a little bit, and this thing will look brand new. So happy to have those two elites. And then finally here, we did manage to get, I think it's the Elite Series 28 Bray Wyatt. He's missing the hat and the lantern, but he came with the shirt, and he's in really good condition. I don't have any Bray Wyatts, but recently I've been obsessed with like collecting rare elites. So this is, at least to me, kind of a rare elite. Those older ones, previous to a series, I don't know, maybe like 30. Those are pretty rare, I would say. So we do have that one as well, and that is super cool. But that is going to be it for everything I picked up in Buffalo, New York this weekend. I guess I can shout out That 80s Toy Shop and Antique World World and Clarence, New York. Those are the places that really hooked me up with all of this stuff. So I will leave it there, folks. I can't believe that I got this card. I'm just so happy about it. I wasn't lying about this thing being my favorite thing. I don't know what it is. This card is just so cool. So I'll leave it there, folks. As always, my name is Navigator. Have a nice day. Take care.